Evolution is change in the heritable characteristics of biological populations over successive generations. These characteristics are the expressions of genes that are passed on from parents to offspring during reproduction. Do you remember the popular belief that humans came from apes? You will certainly disagree. So this lesson will be of explore how things have changed their characteristics over a period of time. So here is the theories and the existence of the different forms of life. Theory of creationism. The belief that the modern universe and the various forms of life were created by God out of nothing. It is a response to modern evolutionary theory, which explains the emergence and diversity of life without recourse to the doctrine of God and any other divine power. Theory of catastrophism. Doctrine that explains the differences in fossil forms encountered in successive stratigraphic levels as being the product of repeated cataclysmic occurrences and repeated new creations. Theory of uniformitarianism. The doctrine suggesting that Earth's geologic processes acted in the same manner and with essentially the same intensity in the past as they do in the present, and that such uniformity is sufficient to account for all geological change. So to learn more about this topic, here is Natural Selection by Charles Darwin. It is the differential survival and reproduction of individuals due to differences in phenotype. It is a key mechanism of evolution, the change in the heritable traits of characteristics of a population over generations. Charles Darwin popularized the term natural selection, contrasting it with artificial selection, which is intentional, whereas natural selection is not. 5 theories of natural selection. Competition. Organisms produce more offspring than can actually survive. Living things die before they can reproduce. They may die due to predation, diseases, or lack of food. Organisms cannot support all organisms that are born. Adaptation. Every organism struggles to survive. One reason why organisms do not survive is because their habitat lacks resources to support life. Organisms compete to get what they need because other organisms also need the same thing. They struggle to escape their predator. Variation. There is variation within species. Not all individuals or species will be exactly the same. There are differences among them. Overproduction. Some variations will allow members of species to survive and reproduce better than others. If an organism has a trait that has helped it to survive, then this organism will be more likely to reproduce. Speciation. Organisms that survive and reproduce pass their traits to their offspring, and the helpful traits gradually appear in more and more of the population.